What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Solvice. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Air Jordan 1 High OG in the 2020 version of the Court Purple colorway. So I'll be doing an in-depth review on these. I'm going to let you know about all the details. I'll let you know exactly what I think about them. And then I'm going to show you what they look like on feet. And of course, it's going to be in 4K just like always. So as I mentioned a second ago, this is the 2020 version of the Court Purple colorway. We did see another Court Purple, I want to say back in September of 2018. The color blocking on these though is going to be OG as opposed to the 2018 pair. Those had a shattered backboard or bread toe color blocking. This is the Chicago color blocking. So obviously with the Chicagos, everything that's purple here, turn that red and you got yourself Chicagos. On those, obviously, bread toes and shattered backboards, those are not OG colorways, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I do prefer the color blocking here. So the official colorway on these is Court Purple, black, and white, and those are all the colors that we've got here. Now, the upper on these, just like every other Air Jordan 1 pretty much, is going to be almost entirely leather, other than the nylon tongue and, of course, the fabric lining on the inside of the shoe. And the leather here, not the best leather that I've seen, not the worst either. I'd say it's probably pretty close to like the Game Royal ones. I don't know if you have a pair of those or if you've seen a pair of those in hand. I'd say they're pretty close. Maybe the Game Royal is still slightly a little bit better. At least my pair of those and these. Nothing like the Shadows from 2018 or anything like that. So if you're somebody who's like, you know, kind of picky with their leather quality, just know at least my pair, not the best quality. I will say I'm really happy that they didn't go crazy with tumbled leather though, like they did on the Pine Green 2.0 pair. We had Pine Green release, I want to say the same weekend as the original Court Purples back in 2018, or they were really close together. So now we're getting the 2.0 of both of those. And the Pine Green 2.0, the colorway is really good. I love the color blocking on those, but they went crazy with like the ultra tumbled leather, and I just do not like that look. It kind of reminds me of, I want to say it was like an all-star pair from the LA All-Star Games. They were like black and gold, but again, same thing, just like super tumbled leather, and it just kind of looks cheap to me, just a little bit too much texture. I don't know, I'm not a fan. So I'm really glad they didn't do that here. They kind of just went with like standard Air Jordan 1 leather. So I'm not really complaining. It's not the best leather, but I'm glad at least that they did not do that. Now the other thing that they did not keep with the Pine Green 2.0, which again I'm very glad about, is the Wings logo up here on the ankle. They had like that overlay that they did on the Pine Green 2.0, and I thought that just looked terrible. So I'm super glad that overall this is a very classic Air Jordan 1, just with a new colorway. Now there is one detail on these that they did keep from the Pine Green 2.0 that's not the same as what you get on your average Air Jordan 1, which is going to be the tag up here on the tongue. So normally it's just a fabric tag that they sew onto the nylon tongue. But this time you've got a leather tag. So the tag itself is leather, and then you've got the Nike Air branding embossed right here in the Court Purple. So yeah, not a classic detail, but it's very subtle. It's something that does not change the overall look of the shoe. So I don't mind it. I actually like it a little bit. And then as you can see, you do get a pair of spare laces with these. They're purple laces. But a couple of interesting things here is, first of all, they don't really match the purple that's on the shoe itself. It's a little bit lighter, but the shade of purple actually changes throughout the laces. I don't know if this is like a factory flaw, they didn't dye it right. Obviously I only have my pair here, so I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try and get a close-up on these so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But they change from like a light lavender back down to kind of like a deeper purple, but it never gets as deep as the shoe itself. So I actually think that's gonna look pretty cool on these. I'm gonna make sure to lace up one of the shoes with the purple laces for the on feet so you can see. But I think since they're a little bit lighter than the shoe itself, it'll kind of stand out a little bit. And I think that's going to look pretty cool. And then everything else on the outside of the shoe is pretty much standard Air Jordan 1. You've got your standard Air Jordan 1 midsole and outsole. The outsole, of course, done in Court Purple to complete the Chicago color blocking. And then on the inside of the shoe, again, business as usual. You do have Nike Air branding there on the heel in Court Purple. It's a black midsole. And then for the ankle collar, they did the same kind of like tighter knit that they've been doing. It's a lot more comfortable, I think, than what they did in the past. So I appreciate that as well. These, of course, come OG lace, so you're just going to have that front lace down there at the bottom, and you have to lace them up yourselves, which I'll definitely do for the on feet, of course. Now, sizing on these is going to be the same as any other Air Jordan 1 High OG, and for me, that's true to size. For you, that might be something else. But if you've ever tried on a pair or owned a pair of Air Jordan 1 High OG, just go with what you're used to. They do have a little bit of extra room in them, I find, just like any other Air Jordan 1. but I actually like that. I would not size down. I think that makes them a little bit more comfortable. And speaking of comfort, actually, I'd say that Jordan 1s are my favorite Jordan 1s to wear. I think they're the most comfortable. They're definitely the most minimalistic Jordans, at least that I've tried on. There's not a whole lot to them. They're basic leather shoes with a rubber midsole. So for me, that's a comfortable shoe. I can wear that pretty much all day and not hate myself at the end of the day for wearing them, especially considering the fact that these originally came out in the 80s. So overall thoughts on these, I'm a fan. I really do like these. I'm probably not going to keep them for my personal collection, only simply because I'm not a huge fan of the color purple. There's not really a whole lot of things in my life that tie me to the color purple, other than, I guess, being a somewhat casual Lakers fan. But other than that, purple is not really something that kind of is in my life very much. So if you are a fan of purple, if there is something in your life that does tie the color purple to you, these are a must cop in my opinion. OG color blocking, can't really go wrong with that on an Air Jordan 1. But again, during this coronavirus situation, like I've talked about on this channel before, I'm being extra selective. These DMP6s are going to be kind of hard to pass up, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, Air Jordan 1 Court Purple, really, really like these. Now, if you haven't yet, of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up if you're into these, and then let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite colorway of Air Jordan 1s in the Chicago color blocking? Is it these? Is it the Chicagos? Let me know what your favorite is. And then make sure to hit the notification bell as well. That way you guys are notified when I post new videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.